I'm going to take a few minutes to tell you about the time I went to the Super Bowl. So in January of 2006, I had just graduated from Temple University and finally started my first full-time job. My brother Tom had just graduated from LaSalle University and recently moved to Maryland for his first job out of college. So one weekend he calls home and he's talking to my mom for a few minutes, and then she calls me, "Michael, your brother wants to talk to you." So I get on the phone, "Hey Tommy, how you doing?" And he immediately just comes out and says, "What are you doing for the Super Bowl?" I'm like, "What am I doing for the Super Bowl? I don't know. Maybe having a few people over, probably watching it at home. You coming home?" And he's like, "Well, do you want to go to the Super Bowl?" And I was just like, who's expecting to hear that? Like, do I want to go to the Super Bowl? What are you talking about? And he informs me that he had just won a prize for a all-inclusive, fully paid trip to Super Bowl 40 in Detroit, Michigan. I'm like, sounds good to me. So it was a stunning conversation, but one that was extremely exciting. So Super Bowl 40 took place following the 2005 NFL season. That was a year where I remember in the playoffs just thinking, how amazing will it be if the Patriots can reach the Super Bowl again? And sadly for me, it didn't work out for them that year. They lost to the Broncos in the divisional round and set up a Super Bowl between the Seattle Seahawks and the Pittsburgh Steelers. My brother Tom and I traveled out to Detroit, Michigan, took our flight out there, and you're going on this trip and it was like mind-boggling. You couldn't believe that you were attending the Super Bowl, one of, if not the biggest sports event in the United States every year. I mean, 50, 60, 70 million people watch this game on television. People celebrate it. It's something you grow up watching every year, looking forward to every year. It was just unbelievable. And the Super Bowl is more than just a game. The game itself is obviously amazing. But, I mean, we had vouchers for food stuff. We had tickets to the NFL experience. And it was a lot of fun. The NFL experience, I wish I could go back and do that again. We did a ton of stuff there. We saw the exhibits. We kind of went and you could play games, and there was stuff you could buy, all kinds of stuff. But there was a lot of opportunity for autograph signings. Didn't take advantage of that as much as I would if I were to go now. But still had a good time. I can't remember all the players we got autographs from. I know one of my brothers was a Chiefs fan, so I remember waiting in line and getting Larry Johnson on some, I think, 8x10s. I think we got some Eagles, too, for my brother. I don't remember. I know we walked around, we got some autographs. The one Patriot I did happen to get was Richard Seymour. Got him on this mini helmet. Beautiful signature. Richard Seymour was a part of the early Super Bowl run for the Patriots and just, was an excellent player. So I'm happy I was able to meet him and get that signed. But the NFL, I mean, it was awesome. We got to kick field goals. We got to record some play-by-play from past Super Bowls. Just a blast. A ton of fun. So going to the Super Bowl was just an exciting experience. It was one of those things, it's a bucket list experience. It's a really big event, and it's most likely a once-in-a-lifetime event. Could you go again? I'm sure, but unless you start making big money, it's tough to justify going to a Super Bowl. I mean, winning a free trip there was unbelievable. I do remember one friend of mine saying, "Man, you were really unlucky." I was like, "What do you mean I'm unlucky? I'm going to the Super Bowl." He's like, "Yeah, but you won a trip to the Super Bowl the year it's in Detroit." And, well, would it have been nice to go out to Southern California during the winter rather than a cold, snowy Detroit? Probably, but still, the atmosphere was great. The only thing that really was rough about Detroit was the transportation in and out. We were like 20 minutes outside of the city, and it took like a couple hours to get there with the shuttle buses and stuff. But, hey, we had a free trip to the Super Bowl. How can you complain? So, of course, one thing we picked up while we were out there was some Super Bowl merchandise. I had hats and all kinds of stuff. And, of course, the official T-shirt. So, you're not going to see many Pittsburgh Steelers shirts and Seattle Seahawks shirts in my collection, but definitely had one here. There's something really odd yet exciting about waking up in a hotel room and thinking to yourself, "Oh, it's Super Bowl Sunday," and then realizing, I'm going to the game. So, it was surreal, but we had our tickets, and very nice tickets, $600 face value. I don't know what the face value is nowadays, but it's got to be over 1,000, maybe even pushing 1,500. And of course, most likely to get tickets, you're gonna have to go on StubHub or something like that, and the price is up there. To get to the Super Bowl, we had to leave super early. We had to take a shuttle, and then you had to get in line and go through a screening with security and stuff. I mean, I think it took a few hours to get into the stadium, but again, well worth it. Once we got up to our seats, we got our Super Bowl 40 seat cushion, official seat cushion. Still have mine, so that's pretty cool. And there was like a little goodie bag attached to it. So when you opened it, it just had a bunch of different things in it. Had a lanyard for keeping your ticket stub in it, and little live audio if you wanted to listen to the game on the radio, which I didn't do. What else? We got a flashlight, little flashlight. They had us use those during the halftime concert where we saw the Rolling Stones, so that was definitely an experience, really neat. Once we got in the stadium, we just kind of walked around to try and see things. Had never been to Ford Field. It was a chance to explore it a little bit. Got something to eat because you couldn't bring anything in. And then, just took our time, and then as the game started getting closer, you started anticipating things. And I just remember sitting in the seats and the announcer over the speaker saying, "Fans, we are 10 seconds away from going live to whatever it was, 50 million people and going live worldwide." And they had the countdown and the place kind of exploded. So it was a tremendous amount of fun. The one negative thing about going to the Super Bowl is the crowd's definitely excited, but you had a sector of Seahawks fans and you had a sector of Steelers fans, and then you had 50% just people who were there, corporate people, stuff like that. But still, a great atmosphere, people excited, people having fun, and it was just a blast. So we've been treated to a lot of good Super Bowls over the last 20 years or so, and Super Bowl 40 doesn't really qualify as that. It was not out of hand. It wasn't a blowout, but it wound up being a 21-10 final. There weren't many instances that you expected the Seahawks to win that game. The Steelers outplayed them, but Ben Roethlisberger wasn't very good. It was just kind of a sloppy game, but we did see some great moments. We saw a record-breaking run from Willie Parker, a 75-yard touchdown run, so that was pretty neat to see. Antoine Randall ended up throwing a touchdown pass to the MVP of the game, Hines Ward. So there were a lot of cool moments. The bottom line is, if you're attending a Super Bowl, you're experiencing something that just so many people are envious of. People are just like, dude, the Super Bowl, it's absolutely insane. It's amazing, and it was a great experience. I'm definitely thrilled that I was blessed with the opportunity to experience such a great event, to hang out with my brother. It's definitely just one of those experiences that, 11 years later, we can talk about, and 10 years from now and 20 years from now we'll be like, man, remember when we went to the Super Bowl? And you can always watch the replays on NFL Network and be like, man, I was at that Super Bowl. It was crazy. I was at the Super Bowl, guys. Comment below, let me know what you thought of Super Bowl 40. Have you guys ever attended a Super Bowl? If you have, comment below, let me know. And is going to a Super Bowl on your bucket list? Because it would be on mine, and it's crossed off the list. Though it would be great to go see the Pats one day. Guys, thanks for watching. Have yourselves a great one, and enjoy Super Bowl Sunday.